So
Yes,
welcome
Mataji.
you all to the Sunday Bhagavad Gita classes. So we are in the chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita, and chapter 3 of Bhagavad Gita is known as Karma Yoga. Karma Yoga means work in Krishna consciousness. So whatever activities we do, we have to keep Krishna in the center. So that is the
Center.
main theme of this particular chapter. So, and the acronym of the chapter is
Tree.
Three. T stands for
T stand for
Tyaga,
Tyaga.
and R stands for
For
rungs of the
rung of
yoga
ladder.
ladder, and E
X for
stands for exemplary.
exemplary.
Another
And
E
another
stands
E
for
stand for enemy of the soul.
So, yeah. So, in the previous few classes, we were discussing about the Tyaga section of the chapter 3. So, because Krishna in the second chapter, he was saying that Durena Hevaram Karma Buddhi Yoge Tvimamstrano. He is telling Arjuna, keep away all the abominable activities away and engage yourself in Buddhi Yoga. So Arjuna is confused with these words of Krishna. He thought that this war which he is going to fight, it is going to be ghastly. There is going to be a lot of bloodshed. There will be a lot of people who will be losing their husbands, their fathers. So it is not going to do anything good for anyone. So why should I do such activity which is not going to do good to anyone? So rather, what he thought is, I will retire from the war and I will engage myself in Krishna consciousness. And he also thought that Krishna is giving him several paths. He did not understand that all the paths are leading to the same goal. So Arjuna thought Krishna is sometimes talking about Karma Yoga, sometimes he's talking about Jnana Yoga, sometimes about Ashtanga Yoga and Bhakti Yoga. So he has given several paths and he thought that each path leads to different goals. So, and Krishna is clarifying that in sloka number 3, he says that Sankhya Yoga or knowing Krishna through analytical study and Bhakti Yoga are one and the same because the ultimate goal is going to be the same. It is not going to be different. However, this process of Jnana Yoga is going to be very time consuming. It is not very easy to perform. But Bhakti Yoga is a process which is very simple and very practical and most easiest method to obtain Krishna in this particular yuga, especially the Kali Yuga. And later on, Krishna is telling Arjuna that how important it is for a person to do any kind of activity. Because practically speaking, is it possible for any one of us to remain in inaction?
No,
No.
not
Can
possible.
we remain in inaction? No, even breathing is an action. Even we are sitting, that is also an action. So even eating, that is also an action. So while we cannot be without performing any activity, while activity is something that is very important for us to perform, better do your prescribed duty rather than getting away from your duties. Because if one is renouncing his activity prematurely without having a proper knowledge, the sannyasa order, the tyaga is like a sannyasa, completely renounced order, is in the fourth order of the varnashrama. So Arjuna is in the grahastha stage. So after grahastha comes vanaprastha and sannyasa. So Krishna is warning Arjuna that he might rather will become a pretender, mithyachari, by he cannot be able to completely renounce his activity. Rather, be sincere. Do your work sincerely. It is better to sincerely perform one's duty rather than just giving up our duties. And later on, Krishna is concluding this section by saying that Yajnata karmano yatra lokoyam karma bandhana. This yajna should be performed to whom? To Lord Vishnu.
Krishna.
Lokoyam karma bandhana. When you are doing the yajna, our activities, when it is centered with Krishna, what happens to us? One gets out of the fruits of the
Bondage of
bondage. Otherwise, whatever work we do, it keeps us bonded in this material world. Let it be a punya karma or it is a papa karma. But every activity that we do is keeping us bonded in
bonded.
this material world, which means we will be taking repeated birth and death
and
according
death.
to our activities and according to the punya we performed and according to our desire. So when we are performing the work for Krishna, then Mukta Sangha Vimachara. That work itself will liberate us rather than binding us. So we can live in this world, we can perform our duties, while performing the duty is not considered to be abominable unless otherwise we are working in an industry, for example, where there is a butchering happening, where there is a transaction of meat, where there is a transaction of alcohol. So such kind of work one has to prohibit. We should not work in such activities because the money that we get through such transaction, it is a papa karma. It is got because of our some sinful activities. So other than those most sinful activities, one can perform any activity, any kind of work where such thing is not involved, and by doing it for Krishna, by doing it the activity centered with Krishna, one can become liberated. One gets purified and get liberated. So Krishna is concluding the session by saying that one has to offer the work to him. But later on, Arjuna, for any particular person, immediately the knowledge is not going to be very easy to understand, because the very reason why we are in this material world is because we all have come with desires. We all have desires. We have certain things to achieve in this world. Therefore, we are taking birth. And in this process, everybody would like to live a happy and comfortable life. The first thing that comes to the person is, how can I be happy and comfortable? Isn't it?
Yes.
So, when that is the thing, Krishna is giving the process. He is just starting in a very, very, very ground level with Karma Kanda. What is karma kanda sacrifice? If you're getting, do things, enjoy things in this world, but perform some yajna, perform some activities, do it rightfully. Like vivaha, it is not forbidden to do a marriage between men and women is not forbidden. But before they get married, how they should live. Before the marriage is a process that is called a vivaha yajna. A yajna, a fire sacrifice is performed where the couple they come around and they take an oath to live together forever in their life. So this is also a yajna. And we do several other yajna. People does Navagraha Homa, this Homa, that Homa and everything, because we have certain desires. To fulfill the desire, perform the yajna. And when we perform the yajna, the demigods are pleased and they give you your benediction. However, who is the yajna purusha?
Vishnu.
Vishnu is the Yajna Purusha. He is the Prajapati. So that's what we saw in the 10th sloka. Sahayajna Prajastvishva Purovacha Prajapati
Prajapati.
Anena
Anena
Prashavishveshvam Eshavot Ishta
Deshavos Ishta
Kamadal.
Karmaktu.
So he's saying that in the beginning, so we have been a rebellious children of Krishna, where we left the spiritual world. We are all part and parcel of Krishna still, but each and every one of us were from the spiritual abode, but we left Krishna because of our rebellious activity. That why can't I be the enjoyer? Why only Krishna should be the enjoyer? So, because of our propensity to enjoy, to lord over the universe, so Krishna has given us a material world, a place for us to live. And He is so kind enough, even though we have been ungrateful, we left Him and we came. Still, Krishna is giving us facilities to live comfortably in this world. Like a rebellious son. If a son is rebellious, the father may sometimes ask him to get out of the home, but still he may give certain things to maintain him. He may send him some money, he may send him few things so that he can at least live little bit peacefully, even though he may not allow him in the home, but he may do something for his son. So similarly, Krishna has, so for that purpose, he has created a process called yajna, a sacrifice. between to do to the demigods. So he told us to live in cooperation with the demigods, offer sacrifices, and by offering sacrifices to them, they are pleased and they bestow the benediction and live comfortably. And by performing yajna, what happens? One gets gradually purified. And then one comes to the process of liberation. So even for us, if we are going on a yatra, we feel that we need some basic comforts. Will we
Yeah.
go on a yatra if there is no proper stay? If there is no
No.
proper prasadam, will we be able to go to the yatra? So similarly, this material world is not a punishment. It is a opportunity given by Krishna to us to realize the mistakes and to go back home, back to Godhead. Understand that we do not belong to this world. We are all part and parcel of Krishna, and our duty is to satisfy the Lord in all aspects of life. Manmana bhava madbhakto, madhyaji mam namaskuru.
Guru
Always
Mamaye.
remember Krishna. Worship him, become his devotee, offer the obeisances to him. So by doing so, what happens? We get liberated and we go back to home, back to Godhead. But not all the people can immediately take up this process of bhakti. So for them, he prescribed this yajna because indirectly, who is getting the share? It is Lord Vishnu. So
Vishnu.
knowingly they may not satisfy Krishna, but unknowingly, because they are satisfying Krishna, this process will purify them. And in today's sloka, we will further see how Krishna is telling us to perform the yajna. Please repeat after me. Bhagavad Gita, chapter 3, text 11. Devan bhava yatanena
Devan Bhavayatanena
te deva bhavayantu va.
Deve Deva Bhavayantu Va
Parasparam bhavayanta
Parasparam
परस्परं
Bhavayanta
भावयन्तु
Shreyam param avapsyasta.
Shreyam
श्रेयं
Param
परम् अवाप्स्यता
Avapsyata
Devan bhavayatanena
Devan
देव्यं
Bhavayatanena
te
भावयतानेन
deva bhavayantu va.
Deve Vadavantu Va
भावयन्तु वा
Parasparam bhavayantu va.
Parasparam Bhavayanta
Sorry, parasparam
Second
bhavayanta Shreya
Par
param avapyata.
Shreya
श्रेयं
Param
परम्
Avapsyata
Devan bhavayata tena.
Devan Bhavayatanena
देवानेन
Deva bhavayantu va.
Deve Bhavayantu Va
Parasparam bhavayanta.
Parasparam Bhavayanta
Shreya param avapsyata.
Shreya
श्रेयं
Param
परम्
Avapsyata
Would
अवाप्स्यता
like to do this sloka?
I can do much.
Yeah, please.
देवान् भावयतानेन
Devan
Devan
bhavayata.
Bhavayatanena
ते देव भावयन्तु वा यन्तु वा
Te deva
Bhavayantu
bhavayantuva.
Va
परस्परं भावयन्त
Parasparam
Parasparam Bhavayanta
bhavayanta.
श्रेयपरम् अवाप्स्यत
Shreya param
Avapsyata
avapsyata.
देवान् demigods bhavayata having pleased anena by this sacrifice te those deva demigods bhava bhavayantu will please va you parasparam mutually bhavayanta pleasing one another shreya benediction param the supreme avapsyata you will achieve. Translation: The demigods, being pleased by sacrifices, will also please you, and thus, by cooperation between men and demigods, prosperity will reign for all.
Thank you, Mataji. Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vikas Swamiti Namini Namo Vishnupadaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swamiti Namini Namaste Saraswati Devi Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesh Shunyavadi Pashyata Destarini Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Rama, Hare Hare. So, who are these demigods? They are definitely much superior to human beings. At the same time, they are not as equivalent to Krishna. So, what is the role of the demigods? What do? They are the empowered living entities chosen by Krishna to do various universal affairs. Like there is a rain, air, sunlight, moonlight. Like that, we are getting air, lot of things, air, water, everything that we are getting it. So Krishna is assigning an empowered living entity to take care of those activities. Like we have a prime minister, and the prime minister has several cabinet ministers to take care of different departments of the government. So similarly, these demigods are the one who are chosen by Krishna. They are the empowered living entity. They are also living entity, but they are empowered living entity. So there are Jiva Tattva, Jada Tattva, and Vishnu Tattva. And we have Shakti Tattva and Mahesh Tattva. So these are the 5 types of entities. So Vishnu Tattva is the highest entity. This is Lord Krishna and all his expansions, all his avatars. Vishnu, they all come under Vishnu Tattva. And Shakti Tattva is Radharani and all her other expansions. And we have Jiva Tattva. We are the Jivas. And we have Jada Tattva, Mahesh Tattva. Shiva Tattva, Mahesh. Shiva is also, he is having a very special role. He is not in a position of a demigod. At the same time, he is not in the position of Krishna. So he has his own thing called a Shiva Tattva. And we have Jada Tattva. Jada Tattva is the non-living entities. So these are the tattvas, but the demigods are coming under which category? Jiva Tattva, like a prime minister. He is also a citizen. We are also the citizen. But he is supreme citizen. When there is a prime minister coming, then there's a lot of security given. Everybody would like to meet him because he's a supreme person, but he is also a citizen. So similarly, these devatas, they are also living entities, but they are all empowered and they are given various assignments by Lord Sri Krishna. So Krishna has given us a lot of sacrifices. So by performing the sacrifices to these demigods, so when we want rain, the yajna is performed to Indra. So when we want food, like there is a lot of other yajnas which are prescribed. People who wanted a good son, they do yajna to Prajapatis like that. And people wanted good wife, they worship whom do they worship when they want good son? I don't know. People, they worship different gods. They want good education. They worship Saraswati. They want wealth. They worship Lakshmi. Like that, for different things, people worship different gods to get the benediction. So Krishna is saying that we work in cooperation with them, and then by working in cooperation, by satisfying them, they will offer you the benediction by which everybody can live with prosperity. So why this prosperity is given? Because certain comforts are given so that we realize the real goals of life. If we are not even given certain comforts, then our entire life will be going on how to just roti kapan makda, how can I just get my bread, get my thing. But when certain comforts are already given, it is more easy for us to understand the real goals of our life. But there is one catch in this. There are so many demigods who are taking care of the universal affairs. And because we are taking things from them, can we produce our own sunlight?
No.
Can we produce air? Can we produce water? Nothing is produced by us. Everything is coming to us as a gift. These are all the things which are offered as a gift. So when we take gift from someone, is it not our duty to offer gratitude?
Yeah.
I'm taking something from Uma Mataji. Then it is my responsibility that I have to give her the gratitude for having taken the gift. So we have taken so many things from these demigods, and it's our duty to offer our gratitude through the process of yajna. It's a cycle because we are doing, they are giving, and again we are offering. But since there are 33,000 crores of demigods, there are so many demigods who are involved in various universal affairs. Is it possible for us to please each and everyone separately?
No.
We may miss out. We may not be able to satisfy each and everyone. Even if there is a marriage in the home, we may have so many friends, so many acquaintances, and so many relatives. Many times it so happens that we may forget to invite someone.
Yeah.
It will not happen that everybody that we invite them perfectly. Somebody we may miss out and we will feel so embarrassed, if we meet them after some time, that they were such a good friend, such a nice friends or relative, and we forgot to invite them,
Invite them.
right? Like that. So these demigods, we may not be able to please each and every one of them. Rather, who is the Yajna Purusha? Is Lord
Lord Vishnu.
Vishnu.
Vishnu
So when
himself.
we are offering the yajna directly to Vishnu, then Vishnu provides the share to all of these demigods.
Demigods.
So therefore, the easiest process for us is to satisfy Krishna. Yasmin
Krishna.
tushto, jagat tushto. If Krishna is satisfied, the entire jagat
Yeah,
is
go.
satisfied.
Satisfied.
Like when we water the roots, the tree or the plant is automatically nourished. We don't have to separately water the leaves, separately the twigs, separately the branches, because automatically the tree is nourished. So similarly, by satisfying Krishna, by satisfying Vishnu, all the demigods are easily satisfied, by which they will offer us proper air, they will offer us water, they will offer us uh, grains, everything will be offered by them. If you are doing the proper sacrifices, things will happen automatically. God has given us good air, but who polluted it? We polluted it. Krishna has given us good water, but who has polluted us? We have polluted us. Everything was given very nicely to us. And it is a process of the Vedic sacrifice that we have to be thankful for what we have got. We can't be thankless for whatever the benedictions that we are getting. We need to be thankful. Therefore, this yajna is recommended. And when talking about yajna, the sacrifices, to perform the proper sacrifices, we need pure substances. We need tons and tons of ghee. We need pure substances. And in this particular yuga where we are living, we are just seeing day in and day out. There is contamination in milk. There is contamination in milk products, right? There are so many contamination in everything that we are consuming. So will this ingredients with the contaminated ingredients and the contaminated person who is performing the sacrifices, will it give us proper results?
No.
No. Therefore, the yajna which is recommended in the current yuga is Sankirtana Yajna, chanting
Sankirtana
the
Namak.
holy names of the Lord. By performing the Sankirtana Yajna, it is as equivalent to, or it's much more than what the fire sacrifice and other thing that one can perform. And this Sankirtana Yajna can be performed anytime, any place, anywhere. There is no rules and regulations. Is there any rules and regulation to chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra?
Oh, no.
We can chant even in the bed. While we are in the journey, suppose we are in the train journey and we don't have facility to take shower, we can just brush our teeth, wash our hands and face, and we can chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra.
Yeah.
Even a child can chant. An old person can chant, anyone can chant. This is something which is very easy and a very, very simple process. So by chanting, so yagnai sankirtanai praya yajante sumedasa. So which is the yajna which is prescribed in the Kali Yuga as stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, yagnai sankirtana praya. Sankirtana yajna. Who takes up this sankirtana yajna? Sumedasa. Of the most intelligent person, they take up this Sankirtana Yajna. If a person is intelligent, what an intelligent person does? When do you say a person is intelligent?
If he takes, yeah, when he realizes he does everything for Krishna conscious.
No, generally, what do you mean by intelligence? Intelligence means he knows how to make the best use of things, right?
Yeah,
Who
correct.
knows somebody, somebody is intelligent in studies. So he's very, very good in studies. He knows how to make the best use of the facility given by the institute, by the teachers and everything. And he makes the best use of it. That's why an intelligence is, right? So an intelligent person, knowing that this world is temporary, Krishna has said in Bhagavad Gita, Anityam Asukam Lokam. This loka is anityam. It is temporary. Asukam. There is no happiness here. When there is no happiness here, when everything is temporary, why should we endeavor so much to get happiness in this world? Krishna has already endorsed that there is no happiness in this world. 2 times he said. In the 8th chapter, he used the word dukkalayam ashashvatam. And in the 9th chapter, he uses the word anityam asukam. Both are same, like synonyms. And Dukkalaya means what? Where the suffering is glorified. Alaya means something that is glorified. Dukkalaya means where the suffering is glorified. And Ashashvatam, everything is temporary. Even Elon Musk has to leave this world one day. With his $1 trillion assert, he has to leave it and go. He cannot take these $1 trillion with him. Right? Michael Jackson, he made a lot of endeavors to lead a long life. He had a big mansion. He had doctors at his service. He had organ donors. He has all his food taking in the, were examined through the microscope and everything, because he thought that by making material adjustment, he can lead a long life. But he died at the age of 50, much lower than what an ordinary person can live. So we know that we cannot be a controller. We think ourselves to be the lording the universe. We think we are the controllers, but actually speaking, we are not the controllers at all. So we need to render our loving devotional service to Krishna, and the process is very simple. Using our tongue, chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and honor Krishna Prasadam. That's all. Just by using the tongue. Sevon mukohi jigvaho. Where does the service starts from? The tongue.
From the tongue.
Just use this tongue to perform 2 activities. One is honoring Prasadam, another is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra or chanting the glories of Krishna. Then we become purified, because otherwise our senses are very blunt. We cannot see Krishna because we don't have the sense to see him. For example, can we see the microwave waves? Can we see the UV rays? No. But if you are using an instrument, then we can see the IR rays. Like in the physics laboratory, we have several instruments where we measure the wavelength of all those rays, which are not visible. We see them through some special device like spectroscopy, spectrometer, we say. So we see through that. So similarly, to see Krishna, Atasi Krishna Namadi na bhavet grahya indira. Our senses are so blunt. So we cannot see Krishna with our blunt senses, or we cannot even realize Krishna with our blunt senses, because if a scissor is very blunt, if the knife is very blunt, will it be even able to cut anything? No. So our senses are so blunt. So sevon mukohi jikva. By utilizing the tongue, our senses gets purified and we can see Krishna. Lekha Mataji, can you read the purport?
Yes, Mataji. Who are demigods? The demigods are empowered administrators of material affairs. The supply of air, light, water, and all other benedictions for maintaining the body and soul of every living entity is entrusted to the demigods, who are innumerable assistants in different parts of the body of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Their pleasures and displeasures are dependent on the performance of yajnas by the human being.
So they are taking care of the material affairs, because to live in this world, to keep our body and soul together, we need certain resources. We need air, we need live water, we need food to keep our body and soul together. So to make this arrangement, Krishna has assigned demigods to, and what is the duty of our? To please these demigods. When these demigods are pleased, then they also offer us benediction. And when they are not pleased, when the sacrifices are not happening properly, then there is drought, then there is excessive heat. So all these things happens because we are not doing proper sacrifices. At the same time, Vrajavasis, they were worshipping Indra for rains. And once Indra became very proud, he thought that he is the Ishvara, he is the Lord, because without him, people cannot survive. And what did Krishna do? He taught him a big lesson by lifting the Govardhan hill. And he brought the Indra's pride down. But Indra realized his mistake. Later on, he is assigning them the activities. So we can understand, even the demigods, they are also under whose control? They are under Krishna's control. Like everybody is part and parcel of Krishna. If we think any living entity to be different from Krishna, that means it is Maya. Because either it is demigods, whether it is any living entity, each and every living entity is part and parcel of Krishna. So that is something that we should know. If we think anything separate from Krishna, that is also wrong, because Krishna says, Andantarastha Paramanu Chayantarastham. He is present in each and every atoms. Continue, Mataji.
Who is the real enjoyer of yajna? Some of the yajnas are meant to satisfy particular demigods, but even in so doing, Lord Vishnu is worshipped in all yajnas as the chief beneficiary. It is stated also in the Bhagavad Gita that Krishna himself is the beneficiary of all kinds of yajnas. Bhoktaram yajna tabasam. Therefore, ultimate satisfaction of the yajnapati is the chief purpose of all yajnas.
See, Krishna says, Bhoktaram Yajna Tapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. He is the Lord of all the three worlds. Sugrutam Sarva Bhutanam. And he is also the well-wisher of all living entity. Jnatvamam Shantim Richati. One who knows this will live peacefully. So the peace formula is given by Krishna himself. That to know that Krishna is the enjoyer of all the sacrifices. So even though we are trying to satisfy demigods, but actually the offerings are all given to whom? First, Vishnu takes all the offering and he gives the shares to the demigod. So even if somebody is performing this karma kanda activities, performing yajnas to demigods, indirectly whom they are worshipping? Vishnu. Vishnu
Oh,
only.
Lord Vishnu.
Therefore, because they are worshipping Vishnu, by doing such sacrifices also, a person gets gradually purified. And then he comes to the point of Krishna consciousness. Yes, Mataji.
System of divine cooperation. When these yajnas are perfectly performed, naturally the demigods in charge of the different departments of supply are pleased, and there is no scarcity in the supply of natural products.
So people say there is an increase in population. No. When Krishna can give food to, there are 88.4 million species of life, and it's only 400,000 species or human beings. So what about this 8 million species? Are they going to office? Are they working very hard? Have you seen that the animals are dying because of starvation? No. So when Krishna can provide food to these 8 million species of life, can't he provide food to us? So this population theory, an increase in population, that is also not true. We are finding scarcity today because we are not performing proper yajna. Because we are not performing proper yajna, there is a scarcity of the food. And then we say that the population is increasing. Eko bahuna vidatati kaman. So Krishna says that in the Katha Upanishad, he is the supreme entity. He is one person who is maintaining all the other person. Like for example, in a family, there will be one person who will be earning and all the other person would be maintained through his earnings. So when that is possible in this material world where one person is earning and all the other person are being maintained. So Krishna is the Eko Bahuna Vidatati Kama. He is a supreme entity who is maintaining all the other living entities. So each and every one of us is maintained by whom? Maintained by Krishna. But we have to do proper sacrifices. Without proper sacrifices, like Krishna says, Yasmin Tushti, Jagat Tushto. When Krishna is satisfied, then the entire world is satisfied.
Satisfied.
Jagat is satisfied. See, once there was a scarcity in Hyderabad, there was no rain for like almost a year or so. And during that time in 1975, Prabhupada with so many devotees, they performed the Sankirtana Yajna. And within 2 days of performing Yajna, there was a profuse rainfall. Because there was Yajna that is performed. So when Yajna is performed, then automatically the supplies happen. Yes, Mataji.
How does yajna leads to liberation? Performance of yajnas has many side benefits, ultimately leading to liberation from material bondage. By performance of yajnas, all activities become purified, as it is stated in the Vedas. Ahara Shuddhav Sattva Shuddhi Sattva Shuddhav Dhruva Smriti Smriti Lambe Sarva Granthinam Vipramoksha. By performance of yajna, one's eatables become sanctified, and by eating sanctified foodstuff, one is very one's very existence become purified. By the purification of existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. And when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of liberation. And all these combined together lead to Krishna consciousness, the great necessity of present day society.
So what is the yajna? And the first thing is we have to, whatever we are eating, we have to offer it to Krishna. That is the yajna. Ahara Shuddha. When we are offering to Krishna, that ahara, what does it become? The eatables
Prasadam.
become sanctified. It became sacred. It is not the normal food. This food becomes sacred. And when we are eating the prasadam, what happens? Our existence become purified. All the fine tissues within our body, everything gets sanctified and everything gets purified. So when we are eating the food that is offered to Krishna, when we are taking prasadam, then automatically within our body, each and every cells, each and every tissue is getting purified. And then when we are purified, in that pure state, one can think in the path of liberation. So this is the Krishna consciousness. So two things we do. What do we do? One is chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Another
Sankirtana.
thing is
And
offering the
having the
footsteps to Krishna.
Krishna.
Whatever we are eating, we are offering it to Krishna and we take that as a prasadam.
Prasad.
And by eating prasadam, even George Bernard Shaw says, you are what you eat. Right? Whatever we eat, that is what we are. If we eat pure food, then we get purified. If we are getting impure food, then we also become impure.
Impure.
Right? We can see that for ourselves. Sometimes when we are taking outside food, you see that, something, your consciousness or your gut, you don't feel really good, isn't it?
Yeah.
Because it all depends on what consciousness that particular person has prepared food. Generally, the restaurant food is prepared because of materialistic mind. Somebody is offering some food at a particular cost. What is his intention? His intention is really to feed the person, or his intention is to make profit from that food? Profit.
Make profit from the food.
Restaurants, they mainly run because they wanted profit, right? They think how much they can lower the cost in the food stuff and how much they can earn money out of it. So while eating such food, even we may get into materialistic thought because the entire process is based on the materialistic activity of making the profit. But when a mother is cooking for the child, with what consciousness the
With
mother
love.
cooks? With love. My child has to grow very nicely. This food will nourish my child, right? That is the difference,
Yes.
maa ke haath ke khana. We feel so good, right? Eating from the mother's hand. What makes
Yeah.
it so good? Because it's the mother's love for the child, which makes the food so nice,
Tasty.
tasty, right? So we feel how nice we feel when we eat the food prepared by grandparents, good food prepared by mother, because they are all preparing it with love. So similarly, when we are preparing food in love for Krishna, Patram Pushpam Phalam Toyam Yome Bhaktya Prayachati. Krishna is saying in the 9th chapter, one who offers fruit, flower, leaf, and water with love. Yome Bhakta Prayachati. Tataham Bhakti Apakritam Ashnami Prayatatmanaha. So Krishna says, whatever we are offering with love and devotion, he accepts that. So Krishna is saying us to offer, right? Because when we are offering with love, Krishna is Atma Rama. If we don't give food, Krishna will not starve. Will Krishna starve? No.
No.
Like a father, sometimes a child will make some sweet or will buy some sweet from a sweet shop and offer it to father. And father knows that it is his money only. The child is not earning on its own. But when the same child, when he is offering some sweet to the father, some chocolate or something to the father with love, is the father not happy?
He is happy.
The child was so thoughtful about me. The child thought that he wants to give me something, even though it is his own money only. It is not that the child has earned the money, right? But it is offered. So similarly, whatever we are offering, it is all belonging to Krishna only. It doesn't belong to us. But the belonging of Krishna, when we are offering back to him with love, he is happy and he accepts it. And when Krishna is accepting it, that becomes a prasadam. The same food becomes a prasadam and that becomes sacred. And by taking sacred food, we get purified, and that purification will lead us to the path of liberation. We can purify our talk, our words by chanting Hare Krishna Mahamantra, and we can purify our existence by eating Krishna Prasada. Yes, Mataji?
The chain of spiritual elevation. The performance of yajna, once eatables become sanctified. By performance of yajna, once eatables become sanctified. And by eating sanctified foodstuffs, one's very existence become purified. By the purification of existence, finer tissues in the memory become sanctified. And when memory is sanctified, one can think of the path of
I think I
liberation.
repeated the same
Yeah,
thing, Mataji.
right.
Yes,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
all these combined together. So this is also a spiritual elevation, which is a path of liberation, which also leads us to the spiritual elevation. So the lessons from this sloka is, we are dependent on higher arrangement. Life is not self-sustained. Without the raw materials, can we live?
No.
So we know during the time of Corona, there was a lot of shortage for oxygen cylinders. Every day, how much oxygen we are breathing freely, right? So therefore, we need to offer our gratitude for whatever we have taken. Gratitude must be expressed through what? Through yajna, not exploitation. We are taking something from someone, and when we don't offer gratitude, that becomes a exploitation, right? Vishnu is the ultimate beneficiary. all worship lead to them. We saw Bhoktaram, Yajna Tapasam. And Yajna purifies life not just externally, but internally. Internally, we saw how? Because the food that we eat, what happens? It purifies our cell, it purifies our tissues, it purifies our own existence. And spiritual life begins with sanctified living, especially food and consciousness. So we have to start offering whatever we are cooking, we should offer it to Krishna and we should have it as a prasadam. So any vegetarian food can be offered to Krishna without onion, garlics, and mushroom. That's all. Only these three things are avoided. Other than that, we can we can prepare nice food stuff, offer it to Krishna and have it as a prasadam. In fact, there are so many channels like Krishna Cuisine. There are more than 50, 60 sabzis that we can cook without onion garlic. So it is just in our mindset that the food becomes tasty with them. But actually speaking, when you eat the sabzi with onion garlic, they are dominating with the taste. But when you're eating without the onion garlic, you actually taste the real vegetable. Actually, the food is much tastier when you're eating without onion and garlic. And when you're cooking, when you're offering it to Krishna, because Krishna accepting that, because Krishna's saliva is there, so that becomes more tasty. The prasadam becomes even more tasty. So for all those who started offering prasadam, are you not seeing the changes in your lives?
Yes.
Ji Mataji.
Yes, right? Are you not feeling contentment in whatever you eat?
Yeah.
Yeah, because Krishna has accepted it. We are taking it as a sacred food. And that is very conducive for us to perform our bhakti also. When we take prasadam, our consciousness is fit enough to chant, to read, and to hear. Correct?
Yes.
Otherwise, even that process looks a very Herculean
Difficult.
task.
Yeah.
Somebody you say chant one round, they think I can do anything in this world, but I cannot chant. Lifting the Japamala is more than lifting the big bana which Rama has lifted to marry Sita. Because the Japamala becomes so heavy for us.
Heavy.
Why? Because there is no taste to chant. Then it becomes very heavy, right? So practical tips, offer food before eating. That is called prashada. And chant the holy names daily. Perform duties as yajna. Whatever we are doing, who should be in the center? Krishna should be in the center. We can always remember Krishna. He says that I am the sunlight, I am the moonlight. In fact, when we are chanting some demigods' names also, like when we say Om Ganeshaya Namaha, Om, Om, we are saying, what is Om? What is the syllable Om? Krishna says the syllable Om is himself, that Pranava mantra, Om, I am the syllable Om in the 7th chapter of Bhagavad Gita. So we can see that even the mantras that we are chanting to them, have you heard the word Om before chanting any mantras?
Yeah,
Yes.
right.
So
Yeah.
that Om is Krishna himself. So even our mantras, the so-called prayers to demigods, is also not complete without
Krishna.
Krishna. We do not know the fact. Even when you go to any ceremonies, when you go to a Vivaha ceremony, when you go to a death ceremony, like last few years after being in Krishna consciousness, I am carefully watching and hearing these yajnas, what they are doing. And everywhere I am seeing it is only the Govinda's name coming. It is all the Vishnu's name coming. Let it be a Vivaha Yajna, let it be a death ritual that they are performing the final rites, final rituals. Everywhere it is only Krishna. But because we are not in proper knowledge, people think, when we by pleasing demigods, we can be happy. Like people say, they want to worship Hanuman. But who is Hanuman without Lord Rama?
Yes.
Why is Hanuman glorified the most? Because he is a Rama Bhakta. Without Rama, Hanuman is no one. So when you can worship Hanuman, the servant of the Lord, won't the Hanuman will be more happy when we are directly worshipping Rama or Krishna?
Absolutely.
He'll be most happy because my Lord is worshipped. He is such a great devotee. He is also in that Navavida Bhakti. He is the greatest servant. Example for a person who can be the ideal servant is whom? Hanuman.
Hanuman.
When he wanted a Chiranjeevi was being asked, he did not know what is the proper
Chiranjeevi.
food. So he brought the entire
Entire hill.
mountain and then he placed it back. So that such is the glories of Hanuman. He is known for his servant. He is the greatest servant of the Lord, and he is more happy when his master is being glorified, right? So live with gratitude, not exploitation. This is very important. Whatever we are getting it, we have to offer gratitude. If we don't offer gratitude, then that becomes an exploitation. And see nature as a divine arrangement. It is very important. People think that nature works automatically, right? A child may think that the government works automatically. But don't we know that there is so many affairs that is going on by the government to run the country?
Yes.
Yeah.
The child will not know what is constitution. The child will not know who is running this ministry, that ministry. The child does not know how does the traffic signal works. The child does not know anything. The child thinks everything is happening automatically. Why? Because
Automatically.
of the ignorance.
Mhm.
And we, the adults, if we are also thinking that everything is happening automatically, then are we also not having a childish mentality? Is it
Yeah.
not the ignorance? Thinking that the nature is working on its own. Even a traffic signal is not working on its own, right? There
Yeah.
is somebody who is
There is a
operating the
control.
signal
Yeah.
behind that.
Yes.
So in this material world, nothing is happening on its own. Everything is controlled by somebody or something. Then how the universal affair, sun is rising every day at proper time and sun sets at a proper time. So how will this be so natural? Yes, it is happening. This was in Brahma Samhita, it is said, Yachakchuresha Savita Sakala Grahana. So the sun is also moving in its orbit according to the direction given by Krishna.
Lord.
And Krishna says, Yachakchuresha Savita Sakala Grahana. The sun is Krishna's eyes. So instead of seeing sun as sun god who is there, but he is Krishna's eyes. So every time we can see Krishna in every place. You worship Surya, but knowing that the Surya also is, is working only under the direction of Krishna.
Lord Krishna.
Everybody is working only in the direction of Krishna. So we have several prayers in Brahma Samhita for the Devi, for Shiva, Lord Ganesha. Everybody is doing their own affairs. Shiva is performing his affairs. Devi is performing her affairs. Ganesha is performing his affair of removing the obstacles. But where are they all getting this empowerment from?
Lord
Govindam
Krishna.
Adipurusham Tam Aham Bhajami. So this empowerment is coming from Govinda himself. Yat Pada Pallava Yugam. This is the thing. This Ganesha, he is getting this particular benediction of removing the obstacles given by Lord Narasimha himself to Ganesha. And Srishti Sthiti Pralaya Sadhana Shakti Rekha. Srishti Sthiti Pralaya, this creation, maintenance, and annihilation, which is performed by the Devi, this particular benediction is also provided by whom? By Lord Sri
Krishna.
Krishna to the Devi. He has given this affair to Devi. You be the maintainer, you be the controller, and you be the creator of this material world. But what does people think? Devi is the supreme thing because she has a Trishul and she is the one who is maintaining everyone. So I want to be a Devi worshipper. Yes, but who is the Devi is empowered by whom? By
Krishna.
Lord Krishna himself. Shiram Dati Yata Vihara. Even the Lord Shiva, for the purpose of annihilation, like how the milk changes to curd. Milk and curd are same in a way, but at the same time they are different.
Yeah.
Without milk, there is no curd. But when the milk becomes curd, the property of the milk completely changes. So similarly, Vishnu is the milk and Shiva is the curd. So to do the material process of annihilation, Krishna,
You need
to
the
get
milk.
into the material touch, to touch this material world, he converts himself into Shiva, Shambhu, to become the, to create, to be
God.
in touch with the material affairs. So this is the proper understanding we should have. So we should offer our sacrifices to Krishna, and the most simplest and easiest sacrifice is chanting the Hare
Sankir.
Krishna Mahamantra.
Hare.
Harer Nama, Harer Nama,
Hare.
Harer Nama, Eva Kevalam, Kalau Nastieva, 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 Gati, Anyata. There's no other way, there's no other way, there's no other way than chanting the Hare Krishna
Hare Nama.
Mahamantra. And this sloka also I will send it. Sometimes while we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, in between, like after each round, we chant Jai Shri Krishna
Jai
Chaitanya
Krishna
Prabhu
Chaitanya
Nitya.
Mahaprabhu.
So sometimes you can also chant the glories of chanting the holy name like this. Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Hare Nama, Eva Kevalam, because that gives us a re-emphasis on chanting the holy names of the God. When we are trying to remember the glories of chanting the holy names of the Lord, then our chanting can be more focused. So we can in between, no, after 2 rounds of chanting, sometimes we can chant this Hare Nama Eva Kevalam. Therefore, we are understanding what is the real purpose of our chanting. Right? Knowing that nothing else works in this world other than chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. Even if you are performing some sacrifices at home, if there is a Graha Pravesha or Vivaha or any ceremony, it should be complemented with chant. Hare Krishna Mahamantra. There should be Sankirtan, at least for few minutes. Because without this Sankirtana Yajna in Kali Yuga especially, none of the sacrifice is completed. They become completion. They become Purti. Like they say now in the Yajna, they do Purnadi. Right? They make the perfection, right? The last offering, right? Without that, they say na, the Yajna is not complete. So similarly, in this Kali Yuga, any Yajna is only completed when we are chanting the Hare Krishna Mahamantra, at least for 5-10 minutes of a Kirtan. Then that Yajna also becomes beneficial to us. Okay? And what is our ultimate goal? Is to go back home, back to
Back
God,
to
and
God.
develop the love for God. So not only going back is one thing, a devotee thinks, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, Mama Janmani Janmani Sthite Bhavatat Bhakti Rahetuki. Life after life, I want to serve you. A devotee does not even ask for liberation, because when you're serving Krishna, you're already in the liberated stage, isn't it? When we are doing everything, Atmendriya Pritivancha Kama, if we are doing anything for satisfying our own desires, then that is called Kama. Krishnendriya Pritivacha, when we are doing anything for satisfying Krishna, then that is called Prema. So this is a difference between Kama and Prema. Doing things to satisfy our desire is Kama. Doing things to satisfy Krishna's desires is Prema. So we should come to this stage of Prema. While we are gradually serving Krishna, then automatically we get into Prema. We get into love of Krishna. Okay? Can we do the Narsimha prayers? Any questions or any realization from these slokas?
Just
No,
a quick
Mataji.
question
Yes,
regarding
Mataji.
the mushroom that you mentioned, right?
Yes,
Why
mushrooms
we avoid
considered to
mushroom?
be a living entity, Mataji. Mushroom is
Oh,
considered to be, it is a fungi, right? It is a living entity. So it comes under the category of non-vegetarian food.
okay.
So mushrooms, onion, and garlic. These are the 3 things that we avoid.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
We'll do the Narsimha prayers. Any other questions by anyone?
No, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay. Namaste
Namaste
Narasimhaya
Narasimhaya
Praladaladarine
Daladaladarine
Hiranyakashipu
Hiranyakashipu
Purvashaka
Purvakshaka
Shilatanganakalamane
Shilatanganakalamane
Ito
Ito
Narsimha
Narsimha
Bharato
Bharato
Narsimha
Narsimha
Yato
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 Yami Prato
Narsimha
Narsimha
Bahe
Bahe
Narsimha
Narsimha
Hridaye
Hridaye
Narsimha
Narsimha
Narasimha
Narsimha
Mahadev
Mahadev
Sharanam
Sharanam
Prapade
Prabhate
Tavakara
Tavakara
Kamala
Kamala
Valinaka
Valinaka
Adbhuta
Adbhuta
Shiva
Shiva
Dalita
Lalita
Hiranyakashipu
Hiranyakashipu
Tanubringa
Tanubringa
Keshavadrita
Keshavadrita
Narahari Rupa
Naraharirupa
Jai
Jai
Jagadisha
Jagadisha
Hare
Hare
Jaya
Jai
Jagadisha
Jagadisha Hare
Hare Jaya
Jai
Jagadisha
Jagadisha
Hare
Hare
Jaya
Jaya
Narasimha
Prasimhadev
Dev
Jaya
Dev
Narasimhadev
Narasimha Dev Jaya
Narasimhadev
Narasimha
Jaya
Dev
Narasimhadev
Jaya
Jaya
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj
Maharaj Jaya
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj
Maharaj
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj Jaya
Jaya
Prahlad
Prahlad
Maharaj
Maharaj
Jaya Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Prabhupada
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 Prabhupada Jaya
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 Prabhupada
Prabhupada
Jaya
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 Gurudev
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 Jaya
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 Gurudev
Gurudev
भक्ति विघ्न विनाशक नरसिम्हा भगवान की जय भक्ति
Jai
शिरोमणि प्रहलाद महाराज की जय श्रील
Jai
प्रभुपाद की जय
Jai
हरे कृष्णा
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So, just two requests to all of you: chant Hare Krishna Mahamantra and offer Bhoga to
Prashadam.
Krishna. So, by doing these two process, one can be easily elevated in Krishna consciousness. One is in the path of Krishna consciousness. Gradually, we get purified, and ultimately, we reach the real goal of life of going back home, back to Godhead.
Godhead.
Okay, so this particular yajna, what Krishna has given is for those beginners who do not have faith in the process. They have to satisfy these demigods. But for the devotee, we can directly satisfy
Which Krishna?
So we can
Yeah.
directly by satisfying Krishna, and the process is very, very simple. Just by chanting the holy names of the Lord and accepting
Offering up.
the prasadam. So in the next sloka, we will say, what is Krishna saying to those people who are not offering gratitude? He calls themselves to be the thieves. So he's using a very heavy word. If you are taking some offering without offering gratitude, then we are called as thieves. Okay, and following sloka, he says that anything that we eat without offering is considered to be sinful. So the next two slokas are very heavy, powerful statements given by Krishna. So these four slokas, in fact, tells us the entire glories of why we should eat only prasadam. What is the importance of offering to Krishna and have it as a prasadam? They are very beautiful slokas which emphasizes to do this offering of bhoga to Krishna. Okay, Hare Krishna. Vancha
Hare Krishna. Rupasya Kripa Sindhubhya Vacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavanebhyo
Pavanebhyo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Vaishnavebhyo Namo
Namaha
Namah Jai
Ananta Koti
Koti
Vaishnavite
Vaishnavanite
Jai
Ki
Srila
Jai Shri
Prabhupada Ki
Prabhupada
Jai
Ki
Bhagavad
Jai
Gita as
Bhagavad
it
Gita
is
as it
in.
is Ki Jai Hare
And for
Krishna.
those who are following the Chaturmas, this particular month we fast from green leafy vegetables. We can take some curry leaves, coriander, those are okay. But the proper thing like sag, having
Pavla.
like methi dal, like that, those things we are avoiding this particular 1 month until the next Purnima. And then it will be curd, then milk, and then the urad dal. So
Udad dal.
it's a very simple process, Chaturmas, just keeping ourselves away from one food ingredient. It is not very difficult, but by doing so, we get purified. The effect of following is very much purifying. These months are very useful months or very, very months
Powerful
which are
months.
very conducive for devotional activity. In Chaturmas also, whatever activities we are doing in devotional service, we are reciprocated multifold times. So increase your chanting, increase your reading, and take steps in devotional service. And most importantly, try to preach Krishna consciousness to your near and dear ones. That pleases Chaitanya
Krishna.
Mahaprabhu, Krishna and Prabhupada immensely. Mahaprabhu said, Jare teko, tare kaho, Krishna upadesh. Whomsoever we see, talk about Krishna. Okay, so thank you so much. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna
Hare
Mataji.
Krishna.
Thank you.
Hare Krishna.